painting you're looking at is called The Kiss. Gustav Klimt painted it between 1907 and 1908, and today it's one of the most famous paintings ever created. But the reason I find this painting fascinating has nothing to do with the couple embracing at its center. What interests me is the gold, because hidden inside all that gold is a clue that may be one of the clearest proofs that Gustav Klimt was a genius. At first glance, the gold seems like decoration. Beautiful decoration, certainly, but decoration nonetheless. Yet the longer you look at the painting, the stranger it becomes. Unlike ordinary paint, the gold doesn't simply represent light, it interacts with it. As the viewer moves, the surface changes, it shimmers, it glows, it almost feels alive. More than 100 years after it was painted, the kiss still appears to radiate its own light, and that's not an accident. The story begins a few years before Klimt painted this masterpiece. In 1903, he traveled to Ravenna, Italy, where he visited ancient Byzantine churches covered in golden mosaics. These mosaics were unlike anything found in most Western paintings. They weren't trying to create realistic space or lifelike depth. Instead, they transformed entire walls into something that felt timeless and spiritual. The figures seemed to exist outside the ordinary world. Klimt was mesmerized. The experience left such a profound impression on him that it would change the direction of his art forever. Most artists would have borrowed the style. Klimt borrowed the idea behind it. He realized something extraordinary. Paint can only imitate light, but gold can reflect real light. That distinction changes everything. Instead of creating the illusion of a glowing surface, he used materials that could actually capture and reflect the light around them. In a sense, every room becomes part of the painting. Every viewer experiences it slightly differently. The artwork is never exactly the same twice. If you look closely at the kiss, you'll notice something else. The faces, hands, and skin of the lovers are painted with remarkable realism. They feel human, warm, and tangible. But everything surrounding them dissolves into patterns, symbols, and shimmering gold. The man is covered in bold geometric shapes. The woman is surrounded by circles and flowing forms. It is as if the couple exists between two worlds, one real and one symbolic, one earthly and one eternal. That balance is what makes the painting so remarkable. Too much realism, and it would lose its dreamlike quality. Too much decoration, and the figures would lose their humanity. Klimt somehow achieved both at the same time. He created a painting that feels deeply personal and almost sacred. It speaks to human love while also making that love feel timeless. At the beginning of the 20th century, many artists were still trying to perfect realism. They wanted paintings to look more convincing, more accurate, more like the world we see around us. Klimt chose a different path. He wasn't interested in copying reality. He wanted to create an experience. He wanted viewers to feel something that couldn't easily be explained with words. More than a century later, the kiss continues to captivate people from every corner of the world. Not because it tells a complicated story, not because it relies on dramatic symbolism, but because it achieves something incredibly rare. It transforms simple materials into emotion. It turns light into feeling. It makes a quiet moment between two people seem eternal. Most artists use paint to depict light. Gustav Klimt used light itself. And that may be one of the clearest proofs that he was a genius.